So today, it is on weekend. We're doing our trade reviews on trades that we took this week, starting on Monday. So it's just a small review of how what happens when you manage your risk appropriately and what happens if you follow your laws. So on a Monday, if you remember, we we were looking for a counter trend. Yeah. So this was a trade we took on Monday. Everything is recorded. So if you don't believe it, go watch the live streams or go watch the shorts videos. Everything is there. So on a Monday, you can see how we were able to take in this trade. All right. And I know somebody gonna can say this was just a random exit, but here it was one thing. Yeah. For the week, I knew the bias was bearish. So one thing that I love to do when I'm trading counter trends, I love to use these swing points. Right, the most recent swing point that was formed prior to price going higher. Right, so the most recent price swing was this low to this high. Then I always exit my trades on -1 standard deviation. If you learned some ICT concepts, you know what I'm talking about. So just give me a minute here. Alright. A minute. So I'm just pulling up my extensions. So you can see where I took off the trade. Just above these highs, which was around here. I think it was around 9:15. That's when I closed. I even closed the trade manually because I wanted to see some kind of volatility, some kind of volume going above this or -1.5, which is 4,178 level. But that didn't happen. So after I saw this kind of opening and the volatility that it was like the volume that he was coming in with, I had to close the trade manually, and I think I closed the trade around here. All right, but what's the difference? Because as far as I made money, that was the goal. So let's break down the trade. So it was an easy trade. You can see here everything. I don't know why, by the way, Paperstone don't have these arrows. Like when you place your trades today, tomorrow the arrows won't be visible, like the execution marks, if you know what I'm talking about. So we had this low being taken out here. All right. Then we had this low being taken out again. Then we had this low being taken out again. So when we are opening at midnight, I wanted to watch and see how do we react of taking out this low. Do we close above this OB here? And if we do close above this OB, then I can frame my long position around this order block here, because let me show you. Then goes around the mean threshold here, around there. So I wanted to see us closing above this OB here. All right. So after we closed above it, all right, that was my kind of one checkpoint for me to know the trade can be yet valid. All right. So these are OB here. I remember all these things we do on the live stream. We do the pre-trade play analysis, then we take the execution on live stream. So and we post the shots later. So this was the OB. So I was looking forward to this low being taken out, this low being taken out. Now I was watching how we gonna take out this low for me to be able to frame my trade idea. All right. So this is what we call through ICT. This is three drives. All right. This is three drive. I could easily bought in here, but it is not what I trade. All right, I trade like structure. I love to see structure because structure comes with intent, and intent comes with where price is going, and that's how you're gonna get paid. All right. So I love to frame my trades at 3 open, around 3 to 3:15 around there. So I took my long around 3:15, which was here. Yeah. Then my target was easy target. I was looking for this negative 1.5 of this swing projection because I knew I was trending. I was trading counter trend. All right. So that was a trade on Monday. You can see how it went. All right. So now on Tuesday, same thing. So after this was the day actually Trump spoke about the Iran and everything. So this trade I took it around here. Kinda I did some a little bit of drawdown, but I was able to mark out the breaker and the OB here, which was the whole structure of the trade. So my stop loss was just above the breaker and above maybe the order block high. So I took the trade as we were displacing lower because I executed it at 3 open on dot. Yeah, that's how I do my trades. So in terms of exits, this now trade was I was looking for. You can see how price was pushing. Uh, you know, price moves in its own manner. We move like if you're going lower, we move from a high, then we break a low, a retracement, we break the low, a retracement, break the low, retracement, break the low. Like price moves in that manner, right? So for me, it was so easy, right? On this one, I, I had to align myself on these swing points around here, which was what I was looking for on here. All right. When we had midnight open, we had some buy side buy stops here. Then we ran one more time, but didn't really take out that high. All right. So in my mind, I'm looking at lower time frame on 5 minutes, and I'm watching the structures as they form. All right. So on the reopen, my bias was already decided. So in terms of exit, I had already prepared my exit. You know how I do. Most recent swing point that has taken a high or a low. Uh, so this was the think was that was the target around there. But funny thing with this trade, I took off the trade around here. I don't like to brag around with some bullshit. I took the trade around this level. You can see the exit where it was just around there, but the real good exit was around this negative 1.5, which was here. But I can't say I took it off there. I didn't, because sometimes it's better to take off something when you see it. All right, so it was a good target. It's already pre-recorded trade. You can go and watch the trade on the shots again. So the trade was easy. This a structure here was a breaker, then a shifting structure, selling short. Target was -1. Here I didn't go for the -1.5. Target was -1, and the sell side near it. So made some quite a money. So let's go and review on the last yeah, on Friday's trade. On Friday's trade was same thing. I was looking forward for this high, which was Wednesday's high. You can see how we ran it one time, first time, second time, then the third time, right? Then started breaking down lower. Then we had this high. Then this high got taken out with this high here. So I was looking forward at midnight open here and asking myself, will the sales be good around here, or shall I wait for my 3 open model? So that's what I did. I waited for my open model, executed the shot on it. Remember, I was on a live stream, everything is recorded, and I said I'm gonna go break even as we take out this low, alright? And as we had this, I didn't move my stop loss, by the way. My stop loss was just around here, got endured some little bit of hit, but as we started dropping down lower, I moved my stop loss to break even around this price point. This is what took me off the trade. So the week was good. I loved how we stayed with fixed risk. All right, that is one thing I do like doing. One thing, I was looking for shorts on Friday, I was looking for shorts on Wednesday, but on Tuesday I was looking for the counter trend to form the high of the week, which is what you did. You can see how we formed the high of the week on Tuesday. So that is what I was looking forward to. Then on Wednesday, Thursday had some kind of ranging. Friday really didn't give us much. On Thursday to Friday really didn't give us much. So yesterday, by the way, as I was not to trade, so even this break even, I could have easily avoided it, because sometimes even though it's a break even, it really plays with your mental psychology. Look at these weeks down as Trump spoke. It really plays with your mental. So that is one thing that I can't say I like. I just don't like it. So on Fridays, I don't really like trading on Fridays. So looking on the next week, what are we thinking on next week? So a pre-trade and pre-analysis. This is what it is like, right? If it's boring, my bad. This is what I do every time. Every week I post a review of the trades that I took, then I do a pre-analysis of the trades. So you can see I have all these pairs. They are not like different pairs. They are like two euro dollars, two GBP USDs, two gold, and NQ and this SpaceX. I was just watching it. So I have a chart where I do my analysis, and I have charts where I take my trades. I love where when I take my trades, I love them to be clean. So I don't like the chart to be a little bit kind of messy. That's why I have two symbols. Like I have two every two each pair. I have two of them, right? So next week, still I think my target is this low here. This is my draw on next week. Maybe next week, maybe not. But remember, we are on the midpoint of this month, so anything can happen so easy and so quick, especially with Trump's market. So this still is the draw. So right now we're having rejection of these here, this kind of OB structure around here. That's why we're having some rejection away from it, but that doesn't really change my bias, right? So on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe we can trade the counter trend, but the goal, remember, the goal is always this one. So you can see how we have this push, then a return to quite, let's say, 50% of this range, just around there. You can see how we return to that. So we can easily go to that high, take out that high, then drop lower, or keep on going higher. So this is the next week is one of the days that you have to be kind of choosy between your setups, because price can go either way. All right, price can take out this high, price can go lower. So you don't want to force any trade. You have to be extra patient. That's why I don't like coming in with like a heavy bias. All right, I don't come in with a heavy bias. Like I don't marry my bias. All right, I come with a clean mind. I watch price, where does price want to go, and that's how I take my setups. Sometimes I take counter trends, sometimes I take with trend setups. So this low and this high. So let me kind of type them out. So we'll need this one here, that, and those. So you can see how we are on the midpoint between those two price points, right? So either way, price can go for these buy stops here, and also can go for this sell stop around here. So it's up to Monday. When we open on Monday and see how price reacts, we trade what the price shows us and price wants us to execute on. All right. So we don't, even though we know this is the draw, we don't want to force all the trades on shorts to this price point, right? You have to be extra patient. Extra patience equals account management, and account management equals some profits in your accounts, right? So that is it. I think I don't have anything else to add on that. Those were trade I took. That is the pre-analysis. I'm kinda neutral on where I'm going on next week. We can go for the buys and we can go for the sells. So next week I'll be streaming maybe on Tuesday, Wednesday. Let me give me a second here. Confirm that for you. Just give me a second. Sorry about that, by the way. It was a guy that I look up to. I don't look up to, but he's a guy that we do talk sometimes. He's a friend. So next week, Monday no trades. So Tuesday CPI no trades. Wednesday no trades. Wow. Okay. Okay. Next week, that's why I'm kind of neutral. Thursday, they can be a trade on Thursday. Yeah. And also we gonna trade on Friday. So next week, basically, there can be one setup in the week, which can be Thursday because we don't trade on Friday. We can trade on Thursday. Next week is kind of very hard week, by the way, really hard week. So we're gonna see. So Friday, Thursday it is. We're gonna stream on Thursday. It is what it is. That's how price runs. That's how we do our analysis. So until we speak again, manage your risk appropriately, and y'all have a great weekend. And God bless you all.